Why is pain and sorrow such a great teacher in life? Well, before we get down to the details in this video, hit the like and subscribe button, and then let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about exiting and entering. As I was coming home, dropping my kids off, we've had 3 dogs, and the oldest was Kobe. And I fed the dogs just like I usually do, opened the backyard door, and they ate, and then they went to go use the restroom. Now, I was on the phone with the client, and we were talking, and, as I was getting ready to end the conversation, I noticed Kobe was on top of the stairs, and her bottom was down, and her face just looked glossy, her eyes. And I saw drool coming down, and as I was thinking, I said, something's not right. So as I heard him get off the phone, I carried her in my car, and she died, and she passed in my arms as I was driving her to the vet. We're gonna get her cremated. But this is not a video to give you a sad, somber story, because I understand that Kobe lived a good life. But there's certain seasons in our lives where God's telling us that we're exiting. You can feel it. Certain friendships are changing. Certain associations are changing. You are changing. Certain things that used to serve you, certain television shows, certain musics, certain organizations, there's a distance growing. And usually when you are transforming and becoming a different version of yourself, a lot of times these sudden disassociations happen quickly. I'm a part of a group, Toastmasters, and I went to a different one on Fridays because when I was getting my master's, it was a better situation. It was in the morning and didn't affect my school schedule. But after I graduated, I was like, okay, let me keep my same routine and let me go ahead and try to go back on Thursdays. And it was happening for a while, then suddenly a shift happened where the men's group in church where I'm part of, they initially moved to Thursday. And then I kept feeling that something was distant, something was off. And there was nothing wrong with the club, but have you ever felt a feeling that where you are now, you just feel as if you don't, I won't say belong, but you've moved on. And these things happen sometimes instantly and sometimes gradually. In the Bible, it talks about seasons. And as your discernment grows, you start to understand that there's going to be seasons in your life that come rapidly that you're not going to expect. That some things in your life that's been going well. And a lot of times you may not be in a bad place, but it's time for you to exit. It's time for you to go. Because God is preparing for you to enter. Now, I don't know if there's a doggy heaven, but as Kobe had passed, I understood, we had a family member saying that, is she suffering? But you never suffer if you know you're loved. And as she was exiting, when I had my hand on her chest, I could feel her heartbeat fainting, getting faint. Boom, boom, boom. But now I understand she's going to be in a good place. I didn't determine when she was born. I really can't get mad because I don't know that it was her time to go. I want you to think about what season you are in your life right now. Are you in a place where you kind of feel isolated? Are you in a place where you feel things have changed in your life that you didn't expect? This is normal when you're elevating. When God's getting ready to put you in a new place. If we look at the book of Exodus, Moses, which means out of water, he was a child that was born in a time of crisis where kids of his race were getting killed. And his mom and dad had the faith. It was like, no, there's something special about this child. And they had the faith to put him in the water. And he ended up with Pharaoh's daughter, who didn't have any children at that time. Now, you could say things were good for Moses. He was underneath Pharaoh, living a good life. They had to worry about food. They had to worry about anything. We could just wake up and be taken care of. But something struck a chord because he knew he was different. He saw a guard hitting an Israelite. Boom, boom. And he started feeling angry. At that time, when he killed this guard, he ran. He left, he exited a good life. So he went 40 years living a good life in many people's eyes, life of luxury, to now running because he killed a man in the wilderness. And this is where he eventually found his wife, had children, but this is where God called him through a burning bush. He exited Egypt just so God could use him for his real purpose, his real calling. And he didn't know this was what his calling for. He just understood that he had to leave Egypt and then had to go and live a new life. And even when he got called, he still didn't understand until God called him. A lot of times when you exit, God is disassociating certain things because he understands that with certain agreements, certain alliances, you won't be able to hear him. That small, still voice. He understands that. Pain and sorrow has always been a good teacher because when the sunshine is shining on you, a lot of times when things are going good, you don't want to learn. You don't want to grow. Why would you? I guess that's why when the seed is planted, it actually grows when there's rain. Are you in a situation, are you in a place in your life where rain is hitting you right now? Maybe it's hitting you because you're entering into a new season. If Moses doesn't exit Egypt, he can't enter into his new calling, into his new season. Just remember, when you exit, you're always going to enter. When you exit your mother's womb, you enter into life. When you exit this physical world, you enter, hopefully, into the Heavenly Father's arms. Are you in a season where you're transforming, where you feel a little isolated, where you feel different? You move in a different direction? Well, you may be in your season of exit. You may be in your season where things that you knew will become a distant memory. Don't dwell on the exit. Just understand that as soon as you exit, you may be entering into your date of destiny. Well, that is it. I hope you can find a message in this. And if it resonates with you, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, but share the message with somebody else. Till next time, talk to you soon.